Homeworthy, you're here. Welcome to Cuba Libre. Welcome to Barbados. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, I'm Andy Wells, and you are here in wonderful Barbados, the home of great people, beautiful sunshine, and wonderful food. I am the co-founder of Casa De Suna with my two daughters. We are a lifestyle brand, and we celebrate the home and creating a beautiful environment that everyone is capable of. And also, I'm co-founder of Casa De Suna as well as Project Uplift. Actually very proud of. It's a project that we're doing here in Barbados that really celebrates children with dyslexia, how they learn, and what their great strengths are. I am so excited to have you here, Homeworthy. Let's have a tour of our home. This is the entry, one of the most important places in the house, and it gives people sort of the first impression and the vibe. And so I wanted it to be very colorful, and I wanted it to be something that was eye-catching and beautiful. The fabrics here are from Fortuny, which is an Italian company. It's hand-blocked, beautiful fabrics, and they're comfy and cozy, and they're subtle and soft. So I really love the feel that this gives as you come into the front entrance. It's relaxing, it's pretty. You can sit down and just sort of enjoy this environment. You're waiting for someone, or you just want to hang before you head out the door. And this is really a nice, easy, comfy place to sit and check out things that are around the house. This artist I absolutely adore. Her name is Christine Chiateau, and she is a French lady who living here in Barbados. Her husband was actually the French consulate, and he's a wonderful guy. And I saw her work at a restaurant called Lancaster House here in Barbados. And the guy that owns Lancaster House was just hilarious. He was a real character and hugely gifted, very artistic. And his home was just absolutely full of gorgeous art. And I saw this wonderful painting and said, "Who's that?" And so I love monkeys. You're going to find that as you go through the house. And so I thought she was wonderful, and she's got a monkey on her shoulder, and she's just sort of taking in the environment and looking very much like she's part of Barbados. So I really loved this painting and thought that it worked really well in this entrance. And then come with me and I'll show you down here. I decorated the table with a piece of gorgeous coral. I love coral, and I think it really depicts Barbados. And then, of course, orchids are an absolute favorite of mine as well. Very subtle and beautiful. And then this work actually is from my mother, who's an artist. And I remember when I was a little girl, she used to paint paintings like this, and she did tapestries. And she used to sit at night and paint every dot, and the patience and the time that she put into her work was really amazing. And it's joyful. Now, this is out of scripture. She's a liturgical artist. She was put in a book. They did a book on liturgical artists, and she was one of the top 10 liturgical artists in Canada. Her paintings are joyful, full of color, just like she is. And it really worked in this space. So I think that it's fun and eclectic and And I just love having a part of her here with me. These are amazing. I have a little backstory to this. I really wanted a monkey. I thought when I moved to Barbados, I'm gonna get a monkey. And so I hatched this plan to sort of talk my husband into getting a monkey, which was met with a hard no. So I had to compromise. So I commissioned Heather Dawn Scott, and she's one of my favorite artists, to create a jungle with monkeys doing what monkeys do. And so she created this gorgeous panel, and I wanted it sort of to feel like you were outside looking out a window and seeing monkeys. And if you look at this, you'll see what's in a jungle in Barbados. You'll see little butterflies and hummingbirds and little beetles and little geckos and mummy monkeys doing what mummy monkeys do, feeding their child, their babies, and eating, and all the fruits that are in Barbados. And so I helped to inspire her, I think, I've been told, to create these gorgeous panels that really feel like you're right in Barbados. I did the same here, and in fact, I was up on a ladder with her. We laid them out down there, and then I was up on a ladder with her painting myself. So I'm part of this whole glorious effort. But they're stunning. I love them, and they make huge conversational pieces, and everybody loves them. They're really, to me, they really depict this beautiful island. She then told me that I really inspired her, and so if you look downstairs here, you'll see how she evolved with this painting. And I have to say, Heather was a little sneaky because she knew that I would love this, and I just had to have it. So you can see how she's added more flowers and birds, and so it's really developed from what we started here. So I'm pretty thrilled to have been a part of her journey in creating these gorgeous pieces. This is another piece of hers. This was the first painting where I met Heather. I call her Miss Pearl. And she was in a jungle, and I was inspired by it. And I just love her. She's happy. She's getting lovely bananas and carrying them to market. I have these imaginations with my paintings, and I just love her. She's a wonderful lady working in the gardens and jungles in Barbados, and I just think she's gorgeous. So Casa De Suna, I'm so excited about, was born in COVID, believe it or not. As much as everything else was born in COVID, so was Casa De Suna. We were in Vermont, and I love to cook, and I love people around me. I love having hordes of people, great conversation, lots of wonderful drinks, and just to really be together. And we were sitting at a table one evening, and I said to the kids, you know, I'd really love, and here comes Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell, sorry to segue, is a stray cat that came into Barbados, and she actually owns me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest CAT person. I don't want her to hear that. I'm more of a DOG person, but I have fallen in love with, and she completely owns me. I'm not going to lie about that. And she's a funny girl, and I think quite exotic. I think her mummy had some fun out there somewhere and created this gorgeous exotic cat. And she's very snoopy and wants to know what's going on. So we might get lucky and have her come over to say hello. Back to Casa De Suna. So I wanted to write a cookbook, and my two daughters, Coco and Anna, said, Mom, why don't we develop a brand? Why don't we sit down and think about what that would look like and talk about your cooking and food? And we all love to decorate, and we all love home. And so they said, let's do it together. So at that point, Casa De Suna was born. We hired a wonderful company in California called Nice People, and we got to work. We designed and developed our website, which is really, I'm not gonna lie about this, it's really beautiful. And we wanted to have affordable luxury. We wanted people to love themselves enough to get into the kitchen and cook. Our recipes are amazing. They're, you know, when you're cooking, you don't have to, you're kind of scrolling through to read the cookbook and get to the actual recipe. We didn't want that vibe. We wanted, you know, 5 or 6 short steps that you could go and do your food and then come back, and you could, you know, not lose your place, and it was really simple and easy to do. And so it took the daunting feeling out of cooking and put more into your cooking, the joy of it, and how proud you are when you produce something. And then we decided to do a curated shop, so you could shop our articles. We interview wonderful people. We are you know, stuff on health, stuff on wellness. Anna has a health and wellness certification. Coco is very artsy, has been trained in the art world. And so with the 3 of us coming together, we've created this really fun vibe. It's really beautiful, and when you come to our website, we want you to feel that you're at home, that you're cozy and comfy, and we wanted to make it really beautiful so that you didn't want to leave. That was a little sneaky of us, but we decided that we wanted it to be a gorgeous place for you to come and enjoy yourself and learn a little bit and grow with us. And so that's where Casa De Suna was born. So come on in here and I'll show you one of our bedrooms. So again, our monkey theme continues. This is another piece of Heather's work. And then we just sort of made this very garden jungle vibe sort of effort here. And we just love them. They're happy and cheerful and bright and make a very quiet space a little bit alive. So come through here. So what I love about these rooms, I made them as peaceful as I could. Fortuny fabric, again, it's glorious. But I said to Heather, let's create a garden here in Barbados in this room. Let's make this the garden room. And so I told her that I wanted lots of flowers that actually grow here in Barbados. Isn't this gorgeous? I mean, it's just divine. It's got all sorts of the colors of Barbados flowers. It's got the hummingbirds and things that go on in a garden. And I just loved it. I thought it was beautiful. And I said, this is perfect. Let's pan around here and feel like we've got these gorgeous views of the gardens. Let's go across here and do another flower garden so that it was a continuum in a garden, and then it went out into the actual garden here in Barbados. So I made it feel like you were sleeping at night in a garden, and you could open your doors and continue living in this garden. And part of what was needed in the garden were these parrots. And she brought those in, and I fell in love with them. And so the parrots live here in the garden as well. So you get a real sense of living in Barbados in this room, I feel. And it's cozy and it's comfy and it's very simple, but we really love it. I love the effect that it's made. So we call this the pink room for obvious reasons. And it's sort of how we identify where people go when they come to visit us. So let's go. We're going to go into the blue room. Come with me. So this is the sister room to the pink room. And this room is also subtle, again, using beautiful fabrics. And it also has this kind of very zen feel, which is really what we wanted to achieve here. We wanted people to come in, throw their bags on the floor, grab their bathing suit and come out and have a swim in a rum punch. And so it was really creating this wonderful vibe of coming to Cuba Libre with all the wells and enjoying life. I got this candle from a little shop here in Barbados. It's absolutely stunning, and it's really in keeping with the whole feel of island life. This is a wonderful thing, another painting by my mother, which I love. But this is a local artist who creates these gorgeous statues. And they're just brilliant. I absolutely adore them. They're in their Sunday best, and just there's a whole story behind creating these beautiful statues of wonderful, beautiful women. And I thought to myself, I'm going to pick up a few, celebrate them, and they are just perfect here. And so when people come to the island, you get a sense of being in the island, and that was important to me. When you're living up north or wherever else you are in the world, there is a real romance about living in Barbados, and I wanted to bring a little of that into each room. Come and we'll go and look upstairs. So let's go upstairs. You can take a look out the window and see all of the plants and the things that we have growing. We have over 40 fruit trees here in Barbados that my husband, the green, has grown. I've grown a couple, but he's really the joy and the, I guess I would call it, masterman behind all of this. But if you look out in the garden, you get a real sense of the Caribbean. And that's really what we wanted to produce here with this garden. I'm going to bring you upstairs. So we're up on the second level. I have a great story about this painting. We were married on the beach here in Barbados, my husband and I. And just as we said I do, these turtles hatched and were swimming into the ocean. And so we absolutely had to have them in this painting, which Catherine did. And I just think she did a wonderful job at sort of putting into an album, if you will, or a memory, just a still shot of that moment. And I love this painting. I think it's just wonderful. And actually, the Caribbean Sea is this color. So it's pretty beautiful. So I've completely immersed myself into the way of life here in the Caribbean. The Bajans are wonderful people. They're soulful and fun. Everybody loves a good rum punch. They're really great with people, with tourists. And so I really wanted to immerse myself into the vibe of the Caribbean, even as much as wanting to learn the dialect. So I'm always asking people around here, I started with swear words, which probably wasn't the way to go. But when I learned to speak French, that's what I started with. And I kind of got a good reaction from people when this Canadian gal was speaking French, for example, and I put in the odd bad word. And I kind of learn languages that way, as odd as it may sound. And I did that here in Barbados. So I understand the dialect, don't speak it as well, but I understand it. And I sort of feel that understanding one's culture here is really accepting it and growing with it. And it really intrigues me. And so yes, I did do that. And even with the clothes that I wear now, this is a linen dress, it's flowy, it's Barbados, it's Caribbean. And I find my girls will say to me, "Mom, what are you wearing?" And I'm sort of saying to them, look, I live in Barbados, I'm embracing everything about Barbados, including the style and the look. And so I think I've done a really good job of that. I'm a clothes horse. I love fashion. And really, I've embraced even those aspects of the island. So come on into the yellow room. Very zen, very soft colors, very Caribbean vibe. I purchased another painting here by Heather, and this is depicts Barbadians in the markets, getting things ready for market, and the colors are beautiful. And I just love celebrating the women here and the men in Barbados. I think it's really important to show the history of Barbados and to show the life here in Barbados. So that was really a focal point for me in decorating this room. And of course, these little guys that are so sweet, I thought that they were really pretty and just made me feel like Barbados. So I put things together. If I was going to do a lot of white, I wanted some of this sandy color that reminded me of the beaches. And so Restoration Hardware has these gorgeous carpets. They're soft and really cozy and comfy on your feet. And I really think I was able to achieve what I had set out to achieve with just having this very simple color that sort of elevated the white background. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. The furniture is older furniture. We just painted the furniture. I loved what it looked like and how it felt. So that was absolutely perfect for me in terms of what I wanted to achieve in here. And so this is where we can hop on the Peloton. So you're getting a good workout in, everybody knows that. But also you're doing it in a gorgeous environment where you can breathe, you're outside. And I just love the thought of being able to exercise and then to be outside in nature, which is such a thing for me. So I love having a place to sit, meditate, think about my day that's out of the way. And so we've put a couple of chairs here and we can just sort of sit and take in the beauty from a higher level here at Cuba Libre. I'm really loving having this outdoor living that we do. And so I take advantage. Very simple, but clean and very much lends itself to relaxing. So we started with this house when we walked in. It's a funny thing about me. When I have ever bought a house in my life, I walk in and I get this sense of being home. And of course, with this house, it's no exception. And what I loved about our home here at Cuba Libre, first of all, what a great name, right? Cuba Libre, which means rum and coke. And that's totally fitting for this house with all the nonsense that goes on around here. And we walked in and I just felt like I was home. I loved the open space. I loved the fact that we were living inside, outside. So you have these gorgeous trade winds that come in off the ocean and very Caribbean vibes. And so I just walked in and went, this is it, this is home. In fact, this house was built by John Morfitt, and it was his show house as he developed Royal Westmoreland, which is a really great fun fact for you guys. So I decided I wanted a very fresh Caribbean vibe. So everything's white linen, and I wanted to keep it really simple with some fun knickknacks around, and then maybe touches of color here and there that just sort of felt Caribbean. I try to incorporate a lot of the Caribbean into my home. Flowers that are growing in our garden, things that I buy, I find around here. You'll find as I take you around and show you the house, our artwork is really a celebration of Barbados. I'm very, very big into supporting local artists. and you'll see with me how gorgeous things are around the house. So I worked with a designer called Guillaume Menard, and he's from Paris. He's really thoughtful in his work, and he lived in the Caribbean. So he was really great at helping me to get that sort of Caribbean vibe. Again, I wanted very simple, soft colors that sort of accentuated outside of the house more than inside of the house. And I really think that we've accomplished that. So let's go and I'll take you into my room. So this is our room. Quite wonderful in that, again, I keep saying this, but we feel like we're sleeping outside. And this one, I wanted it to be very zen, very peaceful. And if you sort of look, and when I saw this room, I just fell in love. I mean, sleeping in here with the sounds of nature, the birds, the love frogs, the crickets, just seeing this beautiful environment really captured my heart. So, you know, we have, again, Fortuny fabrics, very simple, very clean. So in creating this environment, linen was the absolute go-to. This sofa was here when we got here, but it was in one of the rooms downstairs, and I thought it would be absolutely spectacular here in the bedroom. It just was sort of lent itself to feeling very homey and cozy. And of course, watching TV here when everybody's in the house, we kind of created a little oasis for ourselves. The curtains as well are all linen, and they have blackout blinds behind them, so when you close your bedroom up at night and you're ready to sleep, it's nice and dark and quiet in here. But the sense of the Caribbean, which you'll see throughout this house, has a lot to do with linens and light fabrics that just sort of speak more to the outside than the inside, but create that very Caribbean feel. And so same with this piece of furniture that we just loved. This was here, it's from England. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So we had it refinished. It holds a lot of great stuff. And so I absolutely love that. The same with the tables. It's very British sort of influence to the Caribbean. And as we all know, there is a very big connection between the British and the Caribbean. So it made perfect sense to me that the decor, the furniture would be in keeping with that. The bed is fabulous. We loved it, so we left it the way it was. We had everything refinished. And then, of course, these were here, gorgeous prints, and they lended themselves to a nice, cozy but fresh feel in the room. And so we had those reframed, and we kept them. We thought they were beautiful. I love these lamps. These lamps I bought here in Barbados, and they're semi-precious stones, and aren't they wonderful? They're so beautiful, and they're just simple little pieces of art that you put by your bedside table and remind yourself of how lucky you are to have them. So I absolutely adore those. The table, things that I buy when I see in Barbados, the same thing with the way I decorated the shelving here. A lot of stuff from here, from the island. I love that. You know, I'm really excited that I've given it that Barbados feel, and that it's subtle. It's pretty, lots of coral and things that you find in the Caribbean, like the turtles, the shells. Just, it really lent itself to, parts of coral from the sea. It just lent itself to really speaking the language of Barbados, and I absolutely love that. This chandelier, I adore it. These are crystals in the chandelier, and when I bought it here in Barbados, and it's really like wearing a piece of jewelry. It's just beautiful. And it's subtle, but it really elevates the space. And so when I saw it, I thought, this has got to be in our bedroom. And it really is a beautiful piece. Come with me and I'll show you what we get to look at every day. So this is off of our terrace. We get to see what's going on. And then we can sit out here. We often have drinks at night and we sit and relax and enjoy the view. I'm absolutely crazy about the foliage and the trees here in Barbados. And as I said, we have such an array of trees that grow that we've planted. And it's so wonderful to be eating the fruit that you grow. It's very uplifting and it's quite an achievement. And things grow here like you wouldn't believe. They just take to the sea and the sun and the warmth of Barbados and everything. It's almost like you blink and something's grown. So it's created this gorgeous environment, and it's a wonderful place to sit and relax and feel at one with Barbados. So let's go into the bathroom, and before we do that, I'm going to show you our little sanctuary. So this is a little terrace that's off our bedroom, and minus the rain right now, it's absolutely glorious to be out here. We set up our chairs, we have drinks here at night, but I mean, just getting that whole sense of Caribbean life is really something that we both very much love. And then we're going to come into our bathroom. Come on in. We, again, very subdued colors. We love hanging out in here, believe it or not. I certainly do. It's a great place to have hot baths and relax after a long day of work. We both love to relax and enjoy, again, the Caribbean life. Everything has its place. Everywhere I look, I really like to feel that I'm home, and this certainly lends itself to making me feel that I'm home. I've got my shower and my bathtub. I love hot baths, so it's really great on rainy days to jump into the tub and enjoy this environment. We do entertain all the time. We have friends that come from the States and from Canada, particularly in January and February. We get lots of requests to come and visit. And so this is what I love about this home. It's so lends itself to entertaining. We literally live inside and outside of this house, and I'm going to take you around and show you how it looks to be eating outside. And we have an outdoor sort of terrace area. We've created a jungle, which we love, so that you feel like you're in a Caribbean jungle when you eat outside, and it makes a really beautiful environment. We also, for rainy days, we can eat inside, just off of our kitchen, and it's a little more formal, I would say, but it is big and vast and also outdoors. And so we can fit a lot of people around the table, and we seem to always be the hub wherever we go of entertaining. People love to hang out here because it is casual. There's lots of great food. I'm a big martini lover. My son named it the Party Marty. So lots of Party Marties are served here at Casa De Suna, and lots of fun is had. And what I love about entertaining is, as the evening goes on, we get into all sorts of wonderful conversations about what people are doing and who they are, what they worry about, what they find joy in, and we really get to know each other on a whole different level. And we seem to attract that here. Actually, anywhere we go, we're all sort of bubbly people, and we totally love to entertain and create a beautiful environment to do it in. Before we head into the dining areas of the house, let's head into my living room. I think you're really going to like it. This is my favorite room in the house, apart from the kitchen. I love the kitchen as well, but this is my favorite room, and this really does scream the Caribbean with its white fabrics and little bits of color. The coffee table I had a lot of fun with. I had a friend that came down from Canada, Randy Smith, and he's a dear friend of mine, and we sat one night having our party marties, and we went to town on the table, and we just had an absolute ball. So it's reminiscent to me of the good times, and I'll take you and show you. But let's walk here a little bit, and I'll show you what's happening on this side of the room. These hurricane lamps were here when we purchased the house, and I absolutely adore them, and you can see why. They're just gorgeous. They really make a statement in the room, and they're probably about 40 years old, and as I said, they were here when we came. So I really wanted to play on that Caribbean vibe. And the chairs as well were here, and I just loved the fabric. So I had it cleaned up, and the roll cushion really lends itself to that simplistic sort of plantation vibe, and that's in essence what we wanted to achieve. Fun story here, this is called sea glass, and the kids and I used to vacation in Prouts Neck, Maine, and we used to go on the beach and we'd collect little bits of sea glass, but they were so few and far between that they were real treasures to us. And when I came to Barbados, I was walking on the beach and with my husband, and every day after work we'd hold hands and walk down the beach, and I saw these treasure troves of sea glass all over the beaches in Barbados, and I couldn't believe it. And so we started, as we were falling in love, we started to collect the sea glass, and we've made these little vases full of it. And believe it or not, each color has a story. Some of them are 150, 200 years old or more, and they've been eroded in the sea. And so, you know, there's certain pieces that are really hard to find, and sort of it's like you've got the grand prize when you do. And those are kind of the navy blues and different colors of turquoise, reds. And so we're always hunting for that special little treasure, and decided to fill these vases with the sea glass to really, it's really reminiscent of our love affair and how we fell in love, and they're really special to me, and they're so beautiful. Coco is, one of my daughters, is a jewelry designer, and I said to her on several occasions to grab a few of her favorite pieces and create something beautiful that I can wear around my neck. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll talk to you a little bit about Coco. She's just come from England, and she spent 3 or 4 months there, and she took this amazing course in flower arranging and decor with a gal who's called Catherine Muller. She's Parisian, but she has a shop in London. And it really is about creating the art of design in florals. And so Coco absolutely took to it like a fish in the water and has created these absolutely magnificent pieces of art. We went down to the floral wholesaler here in Barbados, and she began to gather little pieces that she thought would lend itself to an absolutely gorgeous flower arrangement, and she certainly killed it. I just think her work is beautiful. So in Casa De Suna, what we want to do is we want to have sort of a floral side to the brand, and we thought it would be really cool for Coco to create beautiful floral arrangements for our viewers. And then I'm going to try and find somebody that is a wholesaler, so if you're listening, get in touch with me, to be able to create Coco's beautiful pieces. They can shop them and create them at home themselves. So we're going to make it really user-friendly, and who doesn't want to create these gorgeous pieces that she's doing? I mean, supermarkets and things like that certainly have gorgeous flowers, and with a little imagination and a little training by Coco, these masterpieces can be yours. I want to focus right now on this painting. I absolutely adore this painting. It's everything. I love children. And this makes me so joyful. It is what kids are all about, running together, having fun, chasing tires, racing tires. And I love just the whole feeling of this painting from Barbados. You can tell by the sugarcane fields. And this little guy with his pants down, not taking 2 minutes to stop because he doesn't want to lose the race. I imagine what's going on in this painting, and often I come and stand by it. And I just thought this has to be in the living room to make everybody feel as happy as I do when I look at it. So much fun. So, and these little guys were here, and I thought these were really beautiful. So I kept them in the house and part of my living room. I thought they're antique, old glass, and I just think they're really sort of very Art Deco and really beautiful. I think it's eclectic in here. I mix and match different things. I love doing all this kind of stuff. So it's very eclectic and fun, but it all sort of works together, and there's a bit of a story in everything that I put out in my living room to remind me of how much I'm loved and how much I love others. So come and I'll show you in my living room. These sofas are very deep. They're huge, and you just fall back, and it's just so cozy. Can you not just feel how comfy these are? They're absolutely a place to come, put your feet up, relax, and enjoy the Caribbean. I love books, and I love featuring books. These guys, people that know me know that my secret passion, one of them, is I love jewelry, and I absolutely adore Cartier. There's a wonderful Cartier shop here in Barbados, just down in Holetown. Gorgeous shop. They've just had it redesigned, and it is absolutely stunning. And they gifted me with these little ashtrays, and I just think they're wonderful to be using on a coffee table. I just absolutely love them. So I sort of put them together here to create a vibe. I like things to be clean, not too hectic, but just little bits and pieces from the island. These are from Africa. They are a gift from my husband's cousin. My husband was born in Zimbabwe. His family is still in, a few of the members of his family are still in Zimbabwe, and they gave them to us for our wedding gift, and I just love them. They're so pretty and thoughtful, very thoughtful. This octopus was a gift, and I love her. I think she's wonderful. She's from the ocean, and she has a perfect place at the table to create that really sea vibe here. This is a wonderful piece as well. It's a sea urchin. It has this wonderful scent. So really what I want to do in this house is touch those senses, your taste, your vision of beautiful things, and also your sense of smell that creates this gorgeous environment, so that when you come into our home, it hits you, this environment of Zen, this environment of beauty and culture. And so I really love to integrate that into my table and have these pieces, gifts from people I love, shells from the beach, things that really mean something to me. And so that when I'm walking around my home, I'm reminded of lovely memories, and I'm reminded of wonderful people. So moving on, I kind of set up things around lots of coral everywhere. These pieces are gorgeous. And then these guys are just really pretty things that I found here in Barbados, but they make that potpourri kind of vibe. And I thought they were really pretty here. This candle is wonderful. It's from a shop here in Barbados. Really great shopping here. Home things. This is from Archer's Hall, and it is really lovely. I put lots of shells and candles, and at night the room really is such a pretty place to be in. More coral, love my coral. And then moving on, I bought these big pots. I brought them up from North America, and I really love them. I think they're simple and clean, and they really feel to me like they fit very, very well into our home. Monkeys, love my monkeys. A mummy and a baby. They are carrying shells and watching over all the stuff that goes on in the house. I think they're funny and really fun, and they're really pretty. Diffusers are great. This house just smells like paradise. I love that. This is from France, and it's lots of fun, so don't have to keep refilling it. It's there, and it's there for a while, and it really does accentuate the beauty of the home. This is a crystal bowl that I absolutely adore. It is magnificent. I bought it here in Barbados. It's absolutely perfect here, and it is really bejeweled to me. I light it up at night with candles, and it sort of gives you this beautiful glow and hue of crystal just sort of flickering in the evening light, and I absolutely love it. It makes a great vase, but I use it for candles, and it's just magnificent. I absolutely adore it. And over here, very simply, some orchids and some beautiful candles and shells. More coral, which I love. I mean, it just looks so pretty in your home, and it really does help me to accomplish the vibe that I wanted to go for in Cuba Libre. Flowers are something I love, so I've always got beautiful flowers. If you look on my table, these are tropical flowers that grow in Barbados. We grow them in our garden, so I've got them on hand, and I just think that it elevates the space, and it really gives you that gorgeous island vibe. So I love that. I added these cushions, which are really pretty. They are really speaking the Barbados language, and depending on whether I want it bright or just a little bit softer, they're two-sided, so I think that's kind of fun. But it gives, in a very clean white environment, it gives it that little punch, that little taste of color that's so typical of where we live. And then I have more crystal. These are gorgeous as well. Love my crystal pieces. They glimmer and shimmer in the evening with candles in them, and they just sort of feel right here. So some areas of my home you'll find that they're a little more eclectic, and some things in my home are a little softer or a little quieter. So we have sort of a vibe that you can party it up, or you can relax and put your feet up. So I'm here in Barbados. I live here sort of 6 months of the year, which I absolutely love. I'm originally from Canada. I have a presence in the United States as well. I live in the United States. I'm a resident there. And I came to Barbados because I met the love of my life, and he was working here in Barbados. And when I came to Barbados, I'm a huge sea lover. I love the sea and I love nature. And so this fit right in with everything that I love, a wonderful man in my life and a beautiful environment. And so we came here about 11 years ago, and we lived down on the beach in Fitz Village in Barbados, and it was gorgeous and wonderful. I have 3 children, and they are busy, and you can pretty much add on about 10 kids per my child. So it's always hustle and bustle and moving around in here. And so we needed a space that could accommodate everyone, including friends. I love to entertain, and I love people all around me. So we started the hunt of looking for a home, and we knew we wanted to be up off the sea, and we ended up looking here at Royal Westmoreland. Royal Westmoreland is an amazing place. It's a gated community, and so we have about 350 homes here. Beautiful environment, golf course, beach house, beautiful pool, lots of pickleball and paddleball and tennis. So it's really a resort place for those that want to come to visit. You can rent, you can buy. And for those of us that live here more permanently, it's a real community. We really feel the vibe of living in this gorgeous environment and really loving where we are. Running around in little golf carts, and it's kind of a little bit of a bubble, but really a lovely place to live. And Barbados is insanely beautiful. So we're gonna go into the TV room, which is very subtle and subdued. So come along with me. This room is everything relaxed, big chairs. I had a home in Vero Beach. It was called Windsor, and when I sold the home, I packed away a lot of the furniture and knew that at some point I would use it again. And so when we were up north, I said, you know what, I'm gonna switch up the TV room a bit, make it really cozy. And I used the fabrics. They're linens again, a little fun, a little stripe. Pillows and footrests are really comfortable. I have Coco's gorgeous flower arrangements in the corner. I'm so lucky to have her creating these beautiful things. I love to do it too, but she's next level. So I really enjoy that. This is more art, turtles, Bajan environment, the Caribbean. This is also from Christine, and I just think they're wonderful, and they give a little bit of a punch in the room, which I really like, and there are sort of yellow tones in it, so I felt that it was a nice way to bring a little bit of color into the room. These pictures that you have, they're actually sea urchins, and I thought they were gorgeous. So I wanted to bring in, again, the elements of the Caribbean. So voila, sea urchins everywhere to give you that real Caribbean style vibe. So this is a space that we come and we watch lots of movies. We have meetings for Casa De Suna in here. It's air conditioned. So it's very comfortable to work in this space. But mostly we use it for relaxing, making big bowls of popcorn and watching great movies. And it's fun because everybody can fit in here and everybody's comfortable. And again, I have brought in the restoration hardware carpeting. So that is a theme that you'll see throughout the house. It goes beautifully with the marble. And it just elevates the room a little bit, I find, and it's not like seagrass where it's a little bit hard under your feet. It's very soft and comfortable, and I just love the vibe. I love this sort of natural vibe that it gives to the rest of the decor. It's not competing with anything. It's accentuating everything. So I just love it, and I love this room. It's very quiet and very calm and just a really nice place to chill. So let's head down to the bar area and one of our dining rooms. Come on. So this is where all the fun happens. People that come into our home know everyone knows where the bar is and everyone's welcome to it. Drinks are made, laughter is had, and wine tasting and scotch tasting all happens here. And I wanted to set up something that was simple. I'm I'm going to tell you that usually there's a lot more alcohol here, but I wanted to make it really pretty for you. So put out a few things that we love here. The rum in Barbados is next level. And this is a St. Nicholas Abbey is a rum distillery, if you will, and also it's a big part of Bajan history. And they make their own rum, and if you can see, they've etched what the distillery was like from way back. It's got to be 100 years old. And really a big part of Bajan history. It's beautiful rum. The rum here in Barbados is, as I said, next level. It's absolutely gorgeous. A lot of people here in Barbados sip it as if it's, you know, a scotch, a fine scotch. So we always have that on hand. I found these great glasses. So in Vermont, I hope you'll come to visit us in our Vermont home at some point. But we do bees, we make honey. And so I thought these were really great. I love them on the bar, and they're part of who we are. So I thought that was really great. Come on through and I will show you our dining room. This is one of our dining rooms. This is the inside dining room, if you will. Again, Coco's flower arrangements are singing here at the table. Simple lunch table. We eat here every day at lunch. And if it's a beautiful evening, we'll dine out in the other garden, which I'll show you in a minute. I want to show you this painting. It's everything, isn't it? Doesn't it just say that she is absolutely miffed, and this one is consoling her? And I loved it. It's such great dinner or lunch conversation piece, and I just love these two. They're dressed up beautifully, and they are in deep conversation with something that's going on. If you want to come along here, this was grown from seed, and this is called the Pride of Barbados. So this is a national tree here in Barbados, and we absolutely love it and thought that it was very appropriate to host it here in the dining room. We're really honored and proud to be living in Barbados. We love to give back, and we also really liked for our guests to see the things that we love about Barbados and the culture of Barbados, and having this tree here was really symbolized how much we love it here in Barbados. And if you look out in the garden, you'll see lots of evidence of what gardens in Barbados look like. And what a place to eat lunch every day. You've got a little bit of water life out here, and all the tropical trees that grow here on the island. We really wanted to celebrate that, so we really made it a part of our home. If you'll come with me here, we also have quite a few little animals. We have some tortoises that we've just purchased, and my husband's busy all the time. I don't know if we'll get a shot of them, but he's busy all the time feeding them different things. And at this point, it's kind of looking like a bit of a compost down there. But he's figuring out what they love, and so far, lettuce is winning out. These are orchids from an orchid dealer, really, or grower in Barbados. And he's won multiple awards around the world for his orchids, and they're absolutely beautiful. These are the roots, and they're very much alive. And orchids are funny beings. They don't want a lot of water, and they don't want a lot of sun. But so we kind of have to navigate where we're going to put them, but we absolutely love them as part of the garden. When they flower, they're just magnificent. They're gorgeous creatures. The tree behind is a red banana tree, and if you look up, you're going to have a wonderful surprise that we have some red bananas that are growing now. And so we pick these. It's one of our fruit trees, and they're quite beautiful. and they're delicious. They're much sweeter than a regular banana, so we love them. But what's interesting about banana trees is once they have given us their bananas, the whole stalk will die, and other ones are shooting up at the same time. So once they've bared their fruit, then they've done their work. And so they're constantly growing through this one tree. And if, you know, you don't want to really look down there with all the cabbage and stuff, but we cut the base of it once it's dead, and then another one shoots up. So it's really interesting. It's really lovely. So come on through. I'm going to take you to one of my favorite rooms in the house, and because I love to cook. So come on through. So this is our kitchen, and it's quite large, as you can see. We've just had it painted. My friend Shell Canal started a business here of doing fine finishes on the walls, and it's called a texture architectural. And so we decided to do a high gloss finish here, and I really love the result. It's high gloss, it's great for shooting. We do a lot of shooting in here for Casa De Suna. We make a lot of food, a lot of recipes. We love to have a nice environment to do that. I am a funny one. I think that you don't need to spend a lot of money on creating beauty. I love, and everyone who knows me will laugh at me, I love good homes and winners and home scents. I think you find wonderful treasures in them. So you had to see me coming on the plane, carrying all these pieces of luggage, and knowing that I had a black and white kitchen, we wanted to, it's not my favorite black and white, but these are such gorgeous countertops and they're old that I wanted to save them and then create something. So I ran and found and hunted down the handles, and then found different things to put on the shelves. I had floating shelves put in, and I wanted to have this black and white environment, but with adding a third color, which was, you know, sand, beige, that kind of thing, that gave it sort of a feeling of warmth to the black and the white. And it's a great kitchen for creating food. I got stools here that everybody can sit and hang and have a drink or eat some wonderful food and chill with me and chat with me. And you know, they all say the kitchen is the home of the house, and I really would tend to agree with that. So I think I've created a lovely home in this kitchen, and a place that we can come and create beautiful food that makes everyone happy. Come and I will take you to the other dining room. Come out into our enchanted garden. We love this space in this area. We grew all of these things by seed. We went to a restaurant here in Barbados, and they had this garden, and you weaved around tables, and it really felt like you were in a jungle. And we were so inspired that we thought, we're going to make our own jungle. So if you look over at all the trees, we've potted them and planted them, and we really are creating that vibe, and it's absolutely glorious at night. We've got all sorts of wonderful fruit trees and Caribbean plants that are typically grown in the Caribbean, and we're just sort of going through the garden and filling it bit by bit with gorgeous plants and making it really a special place to dine. When I light the candles at night and we are all sitting out here, we could go on for hours and hours and hours, because you really do feel that you're eating in one of the jungles in Barbados. So again, Coco made some gorgeous flower arrangements for us, and I love the wicker that I put on my table. It really does feel like it's beachy and outdoor vibes. Flowers are always a must, and of course seashells are really fun to incorporate into your dinner table. So I got these gorgeous linens that I felt that really did give a Caribbean feel and also really went beautifully with our garden. I got those from Italy and just love them. I'm hunting them down to try and sell them on Casa De Suna just for you. I'm really into linens and creating beautiful tables. I feel honestly that it makes your food taste that much more delicious when you're doing a dinner party and having food in a beautiful environment. So the trees are absolutely gorgeous, and we have flowering things going on, and so lots of color. And I'm going to bring you over to meet our koi fish that we've had for many years. And they're huge now, and they know me, and when I feed them in the morning, they come and say hello to me. So here they are coming up. They really do have personalities. Some are a little shyer than others, but they're just gorgeous. They really do feel like you're in this very zen, peaceful place. And sometimes I'll just come out and stand over the bridge and just watch them swim. They're peaceful, and it's just lovely to watch them all hanging out together and having fun. But as you can see, they literally come up to say hello to me, and I just love that. They're really great parts. They're a great part of our family here in Barbados at Casa De Suna. The water lilies they love, and they flower, and they're just gorgeous. And they are protected. There are a lot of birds that come in and think that they might be a tasty treat. And so the lilies provide them some protection. And they have quite a beautiful space because they can swim under here and over into this area, which is quite pretty as well. A little fountain that we found in a little shop, and we just love our little frog who keeps the fish company. We're going to take you outside and show you around the garden. And I wanted to introduce you to Coco. She's one of my partners, and she is the author and creator of the beautiful flower arrangements around here. So I thought it would be really fun if she joined me on the tour of the garden.
Hi, everybody.
So this area is really where we live. Simple, easy, put your feet up, have lots of little bites or cocktails out here. It's great because when we get torrential rains, which happens from time to time in Barbados, not often, but it does happen, you're safe and sound in here. So really nice area to relax and enjoy the weather and the views of Barbados. Come and I'll show you the pool. Down here is where all the fun happens. Coco, you have friends all the time here, and
so basically this is the hot spot of the house. Everybody comes, grabs a cocktail, lounges by the pool, and it's just great family time and great memories, and there's always music. So we just love it, especially on a hot day in Barbados.
And you get to cool off and dip in the pool, and it's a nice big pool, so lots of people are gathering here. We've got, as Coco said, we've got great music going on. Sunday afternoons are a thing at Cuba Libre here, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure, and there's a nice little breeze, so
yeah,
it kind of helps when you're in this type of heat.
Yeah.
So should we keep going?
Yeah. So the garden speaks for itself. I'm going to walk you around a little bit and show you some of the vegetation here. We really wanted to have a variety of plants and things that you'll find around the garden that are really not typical to North American living. And that's what makes it so special, doesn't it? It really lends itself to creating that vibe that you just know you're in the Caribbean. The they're so pretty, these trees. I think they're called snow flowers, and I think that's a really good name for these because they're absolutely beautiful and they're very fragrant, and it just is a little bit of a touch that's a little bit different than the rest of the garden. So we love this tree.
I would say my personal favorite is we grow passion fruit, which is amazing, and we have a good recipe on Casa De Suna, highly recommend. But you'll see a monkey here and they'll be throwing passion fruit at you. So you never know. You always have to be ready to duck and cover.
Often Tinkerbell is our mascot, so she's going to be a part of this tour as well. Come on through. Let's go and take a look around the garden and see the wonderful trees that are growing here in our garden. A lot of fruit trees that you see here. Lots of foliage, and this is a breadfruit tree. It's a baby one that we've just planted. We put it in the nursery to start, and then when it's big and strong, we bring them out into the garden. We eat the breadfruit. It's kind of like a potato, and so all things that you do with the potato you can do with the breadfruit tree. What do you think of breadfruit, Coco?
It's great. It's very local. It's very Caribbean. It's definitely a mix of a squash and a potato. Delicious. Recommend 10 out of 10.
So we'll come along here, and again, lots of plants that grow here in Barbados that do not grow up north. Lots of very tropical trees that grow, and they're wild and beautiful. We absolutely adore these trees, and we're making sort of the feel of a bit of a jungle out here at our home. Often on a sunny day, we come out here and have picnics under our favorite tree. This is my favorite tree, and you love it too, don't you?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it flowers in season, and there are these gorgeous orange flowers that grow and blossom on this tree. And so we do lots of picnics here, and they're really lovely. We come out and we have a charcuterie board. Rum punch is always on the menu, and we sit under the tree and enjoy a wonderful, wonderful afternoon together.
Something I'll say, if you've ever been to Barbados, I'm warning you now, be careful with the rum punch. 1 is enough, 2 is definitely too many, but it is a Barbados Caribbean classic. So we had to do it.
I had to do it. Let's go on to our bushes here, which are native to the Caribbean. It's called bougainvillea, and they come in all sorts of gorgeous colors. You see them all over the island. So of course we had to pitch in and grow the bougainvillea here. And often when I'm doing dinner parties, I'll come out and cut different colors to go with the tablescape that I'm creating for that dinner party. But aren't they just absolutely gorgeous and very typical of the Caribbean? Come and we'll look at some of the trees we grew from seed. This is our cactus garden. My husband loves cactuses, so he's cultivating a cactus garden here, and I find them a little prickly, but he's actually making an absolutely beautiful cactus garden. So it's fun because they also blossom and they grow quite high. We keep them sort of cut to a certain level, but it is actually quite beautiful. Come and we'll show you down here. These are trees that we grew from seed, and look at them. As I told you when we started, the trees here in Barbados are magnificent, and they just love the climate. So they grow like weeds, and they're just beautiful trees, and they create a sense of privacy for us here at Royal Westmoreland. This is a breadfruit tree. We eat a ton of breadfruit from this tree. We absolutely love it. We grow a lot from this tree. and harvest them, and we create really wonderful Caribbean dishes. Just down, if you look down, that's an avocado tree, and unfortunately the avocados they fruit in the summer, and often we're not here in the summer, but boy has that grown. When you think that it was grown from a cup in the kitchen to the nursery to its home, it's pretty magnificent to see the fruits of our labors. Home for me means love. Home to me means gathering, family, friends. Home is a place that's safe, and home is also a place to be yourself, to regroup and recoup. But mostly for me, home is really about loving people and loving the environment and making people come into my home and feel that and feel loved. Home for me is all about love.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.